The Indiana Pacers and Tyrese Haliburton take game three, 116-107. It was a game that it looked like OKC jumped out in the beginning. It looked like OKC was gonna win it. Looked like they was gonna run away with the game like they do to certain teams. But the resilience of the Indiana Pacers and Tyrese Halliburton, they came through. And I have to let me start off by apologizing. Let me start off there. I said this was gonna be a gentleman's sweep. I said that. I know I said that. But anytime the Pacers are in a
Yeah.
close game in the fourth quarter, you can't pick against them. Once it got there and it was close,
Mm-hmm.
I knew it was over. OKC, in
Yeah.
order to win this series in six, because now I'm just going up one. I would start
You
off
better add
prediction.
one
I ain't
more.
gonna
Yeah,
go to
yeah, yeah.
seven.
Go ahead and update that.
To win in six,
All right.
they, they gonna have to blow the Pacers out. Close games, fourth quarter. I'm going with Tyrese Clutch Him But
Hey, hold on real quick before you even go. Hey, so I was watching Nightcap a few minutes ago. So Shannon gave Halliburton a new name. His nickname is Tyrese the Moment Halliburton
mm,
because he
mm,
shows up in big moments. He said that's his new nickname.
Okay.
And
Okay.
I still like Hal Him Burton better.
yeah,
Him.
him, him, and he Smith came through at the end as he's been doing. And this
Mm-hmm.
Pacer
Mm-hmm.
team, man,
Mm-hmm.
are like, are we seeing? Obviously, they up 2-1. OKC has been down 2-1, like against Denver. Um, I still think most of us thought Denver is a better team or was a better team than the Pacers.
Mm-hmm.
Are we seeing an upset right now, or are we seeing a team that's underrated?
Mm.
Let me just stop you right there, Mark. I told you it's 94 feet. I'm picking you up right when the grounded. We're not doing this today. I've been here, and I think Dalen's been right there with me, marching along. We have seen what the Pacers have done.
Yeah.
It's effective. It's a proven formula, and honestly, the head of the snake is a championship pedigree coach who comes from a great coaching tree. So for
Hmm.
me, I honestly never came into this thinking one team was underrated. I thought it was fairly matched. I mean, we kind of brought that up prior, but the trend I'm noticing after watching 3 games in, and OKC's coach kind of briefly touched on that. There's not a lot of familiarity with each other, so
Hmm.
trying to figure each other out, right? But at this point, you've played 3 games, and for me, SGA had 38 the first game, 34 the second game, 24 the third game. So
Hmm.
if that trend continues, it kind of shows, like you said, Neesmith, Neemhard. If you guys just take a guess off the top of your head, if you haven't looked at the box score, how many points do you think they scored?
Hmm.
Right? It's not in the double digits, but it was the little things. So
Mm.
Hmm.
no, this is a championship pedigree team, and we have to stand on that. I think the home court energy, uh, it's gonna put them in the driver's seat now because
Mm.
we could reverse how your prediction went, and we could potentially see the Pacers celebrating in OKC for Game 6. So
Mm. Mm.
SGA and the team need to tighten up, man. That was not the type of performance you expect out of a number 1 seed that's been touted as the favorites all season long. So I'll leave you with that.
No, I mean I can't be mad at that. I can't be mad at that, man. I still when I look at OKC, I think the trend that you're talking about with SGA going from 38, 34, 24, whatever he had tonight. Um, I think I think what's happening is OKC, and we talked about it before. OKC gets up on teams and they look for teams to quit for the most part. Teams give
Mhm.
up because they go on big runs. SGA gets to the free throw line. Uh, Lou Dort and other guys start making shots or whatever, and then they just kind of crumble. But this Pacer team
Hmm.
is just they're different in that sense. There's no quit in them, and I think OKC has to recognize that. And I feel like they haven't responded to that yet. They haven't responded to a team. It's like when you playing ones or whatever, or just a open gym.
Hmm.
Nobody wants to play against that dude who's playing like hard nosed defense. And this is pickup. I want to get to my spot and go one on one. And I think that's what OKC is expecting the Pacers to do, because it looks like they do let them do that at times. But
Hmm.
then when it matters and they start turning up, OKC hasn't responded. But I think they will respond. But me and the dog been holding the conversation down. I don't want to take up all our time, but
Good.
what y'all see, Mason and Jelani?
And I'll be honest. I think what I'm seeing right now is I think OKC is it to me is kind of underestimating the Pacers and their depth.
Mm.
I don't know because I think we kind of talked about how they're evenly. This is like an evenly matched team,
Mm-hmm.
but we're really seeing in these two wins that the Pacers' depth has been like very bright for these teams and their wins. You
Mm-hmm.
you get Mathurin who came off the bench today with 27 points.
Yeah.
When you get that and he scored 10 in the fourth quarter, you're seeing at any moment at any part of the game, somebody from this Indiana Pacer team can go off. And that's what we've been seeing throughout not only this 3 game series, but we've been seeing it throughout the playoffs. You see him
Right.
seeing Shepard, you see him McCollum, you seeing Bryant coming off the bench scoring some buckets. So this team is a very deep team. I just like, and I think I'm gonna emphasize on this team. They're
Mm-hmm.
a collective team,
Yes, sir.
defensively, offensively. They scrappy, they fight, they man. Hey, this team is a special team. I would love to see this team for the next few years if they stay together.
Yeah,
Mm.
absolutely, man. You you asked a really good question, Mark. I'm gonna say both. I think it's an upset, and I also feel like Indiana is underrated, but we didn't realize it until the playoffs started.
Right.
Two other things. Number one, they have a championship coach, and this isn't the first time he's led a team on a run like this in the playoffs. Now, granted, Dallas, when he did it with Dallas in 2011, they were the third seed, you
Mm-hmm.
know, in the West, which is, amazing. And they had a bona fide superstar in Dirk Nowitzki, who had a lot of experience. But this Indiana team, they playoff run reminds me of like a NFL team. Because, in the NFL, it's not about who went 15-1 in the regular season,
Fair
14
enough.
and 2. It's about who got hot at the end of the season going in to the playoffs. And I feel like Indiana is doing that.
Right.
They remind me of a football team. Like I remember, uh, I want to say it was '05 or '06. The Pittsburgh Steelers did it with and Jerome Bettis last year. They got hot and they won. Nobody was expecting them to win a Super Bowl, and they did.
Yeah.
And I feel
Mm-hmm.
like the Indiana Pacers are doing the same thing. But shout out to, like I said before, man. Shout out to the entire city or the entire state of Indiana.
Yeah. Nah, doing they're showing up. And strangely or whatever, this ain't something I predicted, but with OKC, the big three. Um, I don't have a problem with SGA's 24 points,
Hmm.
9 of 20 from the field, but Chet Chet looked like he was going to have a monster game. In the first quarter, I think he started the game off like 7 of 8 or 8 of 9 and 5 of 5 from the free. So no, it couldn't have been 7 of 8 because he finished the game 6 of 15. But I think that means, yeah, if he's 6 for 15, did he not make a shot since the first half? Or he made one basket in the second half, something like that?
Yeah.
Again, like those type of things are unacceptable. And again, Isaiah Hartenstein played under 20 minutes. He had 18 minutes. I think once again, I think OKC is at their best when they're big. So I wouldn't, as good as this has nothing to do with, Kason Wallace or Kason Wallace. Um, but I think you have to start Hartenstein in game 4. I think you run with that, and you can kind of feel the game out. And right now, I think OKC is still the better team, but I think they're getting out coached. I think Rick Carlisle is doing an amazing job. He's finding different guys, and he know everybody that he's putting in is gonna give effort. Just like OKC guys is the same way, but the coach has to keep that trust that he's had all year in him
Mhm.
and play him. And right now he's getting out coached. I one key moment for the Pacers where I knew it was kind of bad was in the first quarter when OKC went on a run. And Carlisle called a timeout and he put Ben Shepherd in, and immediately off the bench he knocked down a jump shot and got a steal. Causing, he fit like Adal said earlier, he's not putting up big numbers or anything, but he finished with 4 points. Those were probably all in the first quarter. But just getting that spark, people don't understand how much a spark plug means. And OKC has not had that. SGA has been good. Jalen Williams has been good. Chet has had moments. But when you look at Louis Dortz, he's knocking down threes, but still not necessarily giving a spark. And I think that's been the difference between these two teams. Although I still got the Thunder winning. The free
Hey,
throws were a big issue,
Mm.
you
and that's
know,
free.
hey,
That's free.
it's okay if you want to come over here, man. We got a blue jersey, a yellow jersey for you, man. Just let me know. You know what I mean? I got this over shirt for you, man. Extra large, 2X. Let me know which one you want, man. I'll send it to you. Hey,
Hey,
these
if
Pacers, man. I love what I am watching,
yeah,
and I love what I'm watching, man. They just look today. They look like the better team.
Mm-hmm.
yeah,
Period. They look like
And
the better team today, and they
and
look
and,
like they
and, to,
want it a little bit more.
and to be honest too, Mark, what you were saying about potentially putting Hartenstein in to the starting lineup, right?
Mm.
hmm
So that essentially means we're moving Chet to the bench. He'll be the first one off the bench to come into
no,
the right, or
no,
or
I
still
no, I
keep
would
it.
move. I would move Wallace to the bench. I
Okay,
would
And
go big. Yeah, I would go
you would
big.
go
I'm going.
completely big. Okay,
Yeah,
okay, no,
yeah.
and that's okay. So in that strategy, then what I was gonna say is a little bit different, but something I
hmm
wanted to point out, right? I'm glad that you added what Shepard did, those spark plug points, right? When a team is getting on a run and you're able to get that shot that allows you to be like, okay, we're still able to put the ball in the bucket. It's a lot harder when you miss 3, 4 shots in a row and the other team is building a lead on you. Uh, but
hmm
but it's like Shepard, Neesmith, Nembhard, T.J. McConnell. My goodness, he was just always at the right spot, and this is not an accident. He's
He
made a
always is. Yeah.
he's made a career out of it, and it's eerily familiar to those great runs. Like, and Pascal Siakam is really the reason why I felt like this. Towards the end of the game, the cameraman I think was right up in his face, and you could just see in his face it was almost like this feels just like when I was in Toronto. Like the momentum, and there's no fear of losing games. It's
hmm
everyone there wants to take that game winning shot. And
hmm
I can't remember the last time where Nembhard, Neesmith, TJ McConnell, obviously Hal Himburton, and
yeah,
Miles Turner today on the defensive end, I think he caused Chet to really not
yep.
shoot as much in the second half. And
Yep.
so
Five
yeah,
blocks.
yeah, it was a great effort, and it's 9 points. Nothing fancy, but the box score can tell you a little bit about the game. But
hmm
that's why we watched the games, because there was a lot of opportunities for those turnovers for OKC to have converted that. and they missed those free throws. And at the end of the day, you you don't execute in the playoffs, you pay the price.
Yeah,
Yep.
yeah, and like I'm just when I look at the minutes distribution with OKC, and SGA is the only player in the entire game that played over 40 minutes or whatever. And I didn't
Like
think this was a
42, man.
game.
That's a
He
lot.
played 42 minutes, and that's a lot. Tyrese, he played 36. And I think, like again, I think we've seen this in other rounds with OKC head coach. His
Mm.
name Mark. I don't want to mess up his last name, but
Dagnall?
Dag is Dagnall.
I didn't even know who the coach was all season, man. I just bro. I said, who's OKC's coach right now, man? Like,
Dagnall.
no
He's
disrespect, but yeah, like I
yeah,
did educate myself on, bro.
yeah, and it's like he shortened his bench. He basically played seven guys or
Mhm.
whatever, and that's not OKC basketball.
Yeah.
That's not when they're at their best. They're at their best when they're going, 9, 10 deep. He played what 11 guys, but you look at Aaron Wiggins 9 minutes, and he just came off of what having 18 last game.
Mhm.
Isaiah Joe 4 minutes. The other Jalen Williams 20 seconds.
Mhm.
Kenrich Williams 2 minutes. So it's just this and you go over to the other side. You look at Pacers. Obi Toppin, who was big in this game.
Mhm.
Obi played 27 minutes. Shepard 18. TJ McConnell 15. Thomas Bryant 3. Benedict Mathurin 22.
Mhm.
Like he's not just throwing his guys in. He's playing them. And they're giving good minutes. And if OKC can't figure out how to one get SGA easier looks and two get them some rest,
Right.
that then I could see this series going seven.
Yeah.
But if I'm running OKC and this is NBA 2K, we're getting out of here at six because I'm sticking to what happened all year long. I'm
Mhm.
playing big. I'm playing my best lineup first. And then I'm playing like the OKC Thunder has played all year. What we're watching right now, and I have to give credit to the Pacers, it's not that OKC is just not doing it. The Pacers are forcing them to do it. They're
Yep.
Mhm.
forcing the Thunder hand. Like the way, just
Mm.
like OKC plays defense, the Pacers do too. That's why you see, like, Miles Turner is a guy who was a defensive player of the year, range type guy or
Mhm.
whatever. Led the league in blocks multiple years.
Yes, sir.
Could knock down. He could get hot, knock down the three. He was 3 of 11 today, but the Pacers are like you said. I do think they're in the driver's seat. I think now
Yep.
the only thing that changes. I still got OKC, but the only thing that changes to me is now I think is the Pacers series to lose
Okay.
because I think they're in control right now.
Hey, and that was a crazy flip. Bump that. We ain't letting that fly. I
You
ain't letting
caught that, right?
nah, we ain't going
You see how
for
he
it.
started out and then you see how he flips
No,
it?
no, no, I'm for it.
He's trying to
Now
reel it in, bro.
OKC series lose like it's been. Lord, and that was hey, that was sweet, bro.
Hey,
I had to let him get it out, man. I was listening like what's he gonna connect this to? But that is the safe way to hedge a bet. I will give you that, Mark. I'll give you that,
hey,
But you know what? I want to
I
give a shout out to the refs.
I'll say this, and I'll get bold now. This series still over.
Don't
It's
do it.
OKC. OKC is winning this series. We gonna have to figure out a friendly wager on this or whatever.
Mm.
I'm not a betting man, but we'll all be in Vegas together.
We
We'll
will.
all be in Vegas together.
We
So,
will.
We'll
huh?
hit some push-ups, man. Some
Yeah, we're
healthy.
gonna have to hit, we're gonna
Some
have to hit some
some real healthy.
push-ups and shots.
Shots at the same time.
Yeah, yeah, I guess Vegas is the place to do something like that because we might
Yeah,
not make it back. But nah, yeah, I'm still rocking
It's a great pick
OKC.
though, Mark. I mean, you're not. I feel my whole approach to this series was we've seen what they've done, the body of work, but nothing is going to determine the game like the moments, right? And
Mm-hmm.
for me, it's been, and I'll kind of bounce this question back to you guys. It's clearly a clash of two different styles. But do you think OKC's head coach, Mark Dagnall, is essentially doing what he thinks is right, and he's gonna have to learn through experience? Because I think it's eerily familiar to the way the young OKC trio lost to Miami,
Mm-hmm.
but this time around it's not a Miami Heatles team. So what does that say about this matchup? Like, is it just one of those things like game four there'll be an adjustment because if they go up 3-1, this is gonna be real dangerous. I think Halliburton has already shown he wants to do that. So I'll leave that to you guys. What do you guys think on that? And do you think OKC's head coach is doing what he thinks is right, or is he? Because it seems he's not leaning on his assistants. I could be wrong. What are you guys seeing?
you know what? We kind of talked about this in the beginning of the series, and I wholeheartedly hold this true. This series is going to be based on the coaching
Yeah.
adjustments because these teams are very, very similar. I mean, outside of the one superstar on OKC, but
Mhm.
team wise, this team is very evenly matched.
Yes,
And
sir.
the one advantage that the Pacers have is Rick Carlisle. Carl, is it that's it right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Carlisle. That's their one advantage because he's done it before. And you're seeing one coach stick to his guns, and he's saying, "I am going to go down with the ship the way we got here." And you
Hmm.
Right.
start to see one coach say, "I think maybe I need to make an adjustment here or there, and I'm changing my lineup." I said, if you do that in the beginning of the series, you're kind of showing your hand on
Hmm.
your coaching ability. So that's what we're watching right now, and it's we seeing Carlisle. It's like counterpunching. You see one
Mm-hmm.
coach, one boxer take a punch, take the jab, the other one slip, he take another one. So we just seen Carlisle react to game two. Now it's up to I ain't even gonna try to pronounce his name, but okay, coach. Uh, you know,
MG, man, we're gonna give him the initial treatment out
yeah,
here.
man. We coach. I don't even want to say that. Never mind. Hey,
MD,
okay.
MD.
OKC coach, man. Hey, he gonna have to make some adjustments, man. I don't think you need to make some adjustments, but just stick to what you got and ride the ship
Yeah.
out.
Hmm.
The, nah, that's what that's my whole frustration with the series. I think this was a winnable game. I think this series could have easily been 3-0 OKC.
Mm.
I think it's been I think it's been critical mistakes that was made on the coaching end that has them in this predicament. Like I said it on my other pod or whatever. I said if the Pacers are close, Tyrese Haliburton and them, they're going to make you pay. Like you can't let them hang around. Like they get hit in the mouth, they start bleeding, they wipe it off, and they keep fighting or
Yeah,
whatever. Like
man.
you have to knock them out. Hurting them is they don't get hurt. They don't
They
get
catch
hurt.
they catch a second win, man. The second they
Yeah.
feel that desperation kick in, it's they're born for the moment, man. As a team, not just a singular player, and that's where I think SGA is maybe hindering the other players in getting their shots because he's gonna get his.
Hmm.
But like again, how do we get people like Chet, who's instrumental to them having him being that fourth, consistent piece? That's what we need, and I just
Yeah.
don't see it happening over the remaining games. Just you're asking, it's a tall task.
Yeah. Chet can't go over 6 from the 3-point line on Friday during game four. That cannot happen. It's a must win for them on
Hmm.
Friday. I don't see them coming back down 3-1. Dalen, if they get down 3-1, go ahead and start making them shirts. I need a medium. You feel me? Even though I picked OKC in 7. But I mean, look, man, y'all don't got LeBron James in your team, prime LeBron. Coming back 3-1 in the finals is nearly impossible. So I'm sure y'all agree when I say this next game is a must win. So that coach of theirs definitely needs to be studying the film, getting his guys prepared, and making those necessary adjustments.
Yes, sir.
Mhm.
Like that's what's critical for them.
And you know what else is critical is, as much as we talk about like how good they are offensively or whatever, in order to win this series, the rest of the series, they have to be the better defensive team.
Mm.
And I think they have the bodies to do it. Like I said, I still think their size is a problem for the Pacers. As
Yeah.
great as, like, I feel like when you go to one, where you just playing Chet at center, that plays into Miles Turner's hand. Miles Turner, like I said, he's an elite defender when it comes to shot blocking and guard big. So it makes him more comfortable. I think he looks at that and he likes it.
You're
But
playing to the for sure.
you move Chet to the four and you keep Hardenstein, that frees up Chet. Now you got to decide, are we gonna have Pascal guard him, or things are just a lot different when both players are on the court.
Mhm.
And I like Dale said, he said it from the jump. You know, you come into a series, and I don't think any of us liked that move. You come into a series where you're the number one team in the NBA. You've been the number one team in the NBA all season, and you
Mhm.
come in with a new lineup to start the series.
Yeah.
Like, now, what adjustments can you make now besides
Mm.
going start? It's like starting back over
Yep.
when you
Yeah.
bring in Hardenstein,
Mark,
and I think you
also,
have to do
Good
that.
point.
if I could add one more thing too, it's and I think this is the underlying issue of it all too. What kind of message are you sending to your rotation and your players? What kind of confidence are you instilling as a head coach?
Yeah.
Because for me, seeing someone like Benedict Mathurin, who's been struggling through the Eastern Conference Finals, where the New York Knicks matchup just didn't allow him to get on the court.
Hmm.
But he stayed the consummate professional, and I'm sure during practice he was probably going extra hard, right, staying ready. And what better place and time to perform? And I think if that's like a source of inspiration, I think OKC needs to figure out how they're going to unlock two or three players, not just one player, because the Pacers have proven they're going to get 10 people involved.
Hmm.
And as of right now, just with what the film has shown, I don't give OKC any favor. They have to put the film out there for, that's all you can be judged on is what the film says.
Hmm.
And it just seems every time today the game felt like probably the most evenly matched of the series, right? All the way through half. But at a certain point, that IQ and that confidence came in. And the
Hmm.
Pacers have all of it right now. And they have it in abundance.
Hmm.
But to add to that, OKC showed that in game two. They showed that they have players on their bench that they can count on to give them some buckets.
Mm-hmm.
That they count on, that they can actually be that spark. But I that's one of those things where your bench players play their best at home. They need somebody that's
Mm.
gonna travel. Because you get a Caruso who gave you what, 20 last game?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Gave you 20 last game, and then today he gives you I had the stats up here right
Yeah.
away.
18 Wiggins.
What he give you? Caruso give you 8 today.
Mm-hmm.
So you're seeing inconsistencies in the bench, which is expected, but that's where you need that consistent guy off the bench that's going to give you those points when you need them, especially when you have an SGA struggling. You're seeing a lot of ice ball with him today. You need somebody that's going to dive to the basket, cut, get some loose balls, get an extra rebound.
Yep.
We didn't see a lot of it in meaningful moments today.
Mm-hmm.
So I
Hmm.
think that's where coach gotta lean on the players like he's been doing.
Yep.
Hmm. And as you was talking, I was just kind of thinking of, like, obviously I've been advocating for Hardenstein to start. but I wouldn't be opposed to starting Caruso or whatever, and adding some experience in that starting lineup. Because the thing with Wallace, what he's been amazing at all year long and all throughout the playoffs, like that spark I said that the team is missing. He
Yeah.
gives that team that spark when he comes off the bench, whether he's making plays on defense, whether he's knocking down open shots,
Hmm.
or just being scrappy. He gives them a different look, and he usually comes in and gives them another type of energy. But in the
Mhm.
starting lineup, he has to kind of he has to kind of sit back. He's still being impactful at times, but I want the guys to come in and be themselves. And right now I feel like he's not able to be himself. I
Hmm.
think Caruso in the starting lineup would be a wrinkle that might shake things up. Cause I always hate for coaches to, they go away from what they've been doing all year. And a lot of coaches do this too, whatever,
Hmm.
especially the inexperienced ones, and they go away from what they did all year and they start going small because the other team is small. But I think it's important, something that Steve Kerr, has been known to do, and other coaches. If you're going to change up your lineup, change it to something that you're not expecting.
Hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Especially in a 7-game series, it's nothing wrong with changing your lineup, multiple times throughout the series.
Yep.
It was just a big problem changing it before the series even started. Because it's
Yeah.
like, if we playing chess, it's like, yo, I'm starting off with my rook just to let you know. Just to let you know. But there's no surprise. So I think,
Mhm.
unless, maybe he does have something up his sleeve. I would like to see, I would like to see a lineup change, and it has nothing to do with the players, but more of the coaching.
Mhm.
But you know what? What you also add to that is, and not to, I want to give Jelani a chance to get to this, but you add experience to that lineup.
Hmm.
You add somebody that's been there, somebody that's won, in a difficult scenario in the bubble with
Hmm.
Caruso in your starting lineup. That's not a bad move. I just think when you you switch for unexperienced, that change in game one made no sense.
Ain't no
It
sense.
made no sense.
Yeah.
You really get a lot from that switch, but you end up going right back to it anyways within like the first 5 minutes. So you
Yeah.
kind of blew your opportunity of catching them off guard per se. So
Yep.
yeah, no, I wouldn't be mad at that because I think that's a good move on experience because I think we've seen that with Golden State with Iguodala when
Hmm.
they played, when he ended up winning MVP that year.
Yeah.
You seen his role increased. So yeah, that's not a bad
And that's how OKC needs to think, man. Anything to win. It's a four
Hmm.
game series. It's a 4 game series for them. Indiana just needs 2 more games,
2
man.
minutes.
They really have to wake up. And I think Indiana is a basketball state. It's called the Hoosier State. And if OKC is able to pull that game out, game 4, I'm gonna be astonished. I'm gonna be surprised.
Yeah.
Take a lot, but it will be a character win. So we
I
shall see how that goes. But
I can't imagine it right now.
Well, one thing that's been consistent with OKC, right? They'll lose a game or so, they come back and it's always a blowout or a convincing win, 12 points. So
mhm.
I'm predicting that the coaching staff is going to make the right adjustments and they're going to come and win big in Indiana on Friday. How big, I don't know, but I feel like if they don't win big, they're not going to win. It ain't going to be an OKC victory, 4 points, 6 points. It's like,
Nah.
nah, they got to win by 12 or more.
Yeah.
That should be their uh their thinking. What adjustments do we have to make, right? What do our all-star, our superstar have to do? What do our role players have to do to make sure we go up on them and stay up? Because that's what they did in game 2.
Yeah.
They got that lead and they kept it. They never took their foot off the gas. They never got complacent. They
Hmm.
have to do that the next 4 games. And I'm saying the next 4 games because I predicted OKC in 7. But
Mm,
that's what they have to do.
mm.
So not surprised Indiana's up 2-1, but we'll be extremely surprised if they go up 3-1.
No, I'm with you. I'm with you with that. That would catch me probably more off guard than the New York Knicks firing Tom Thibodeau and then asking for permission to talk to other good coaches that currently have jobs in the
Wait,
NBA.
Mark. Not only that, they went and asked Minnesota's head coach
Yeah, Minnesota.
after
They
making
want
that trade with them. Like it's yeah, that's backwards.
I don't know what's
Jason
going on in
Kidd.
New York.
You know, as I don't know. Yeah, that so. I guess we could get into that another day. Maybe if y'all free tomorrow or whatever, we can get it in and figure it out. But we're gonna close this one out, man. Yeah, I'm taking a big L this evening, but it's temporary on this end or whatever because like I'm with Jelani, it's gonna be a big bounce back game for OKC. I'll say it right now. We could mark it down right now. There is no way the Indiana Pacers go up 3-1 in this series. There is no way that's happening.
Everybody that's in OKC right now is saying, no, don't do it. Yeah, y'all about to go down.
No, no.
Y'all go down.
Hey,
No.
and as I'm saying it, as I was getting it out, I'm like, man, my dog Miles Turner about to go for like 30 and like 7 threes in game 4. And
Hey man, I still think
Man, you never know.
Halliburton still got another game in him, and
He ain't had a big one yet.
that's all
Nah,
I'm
he
hearing.
hasn't.
Yeah, yeah.
I
We'll
think
see though.
Halliburton's big game gonna come in game 5 or game 6. We're gonna see
Mm,
some more heroics from him.
okay, I'm with it.
we'll
I'm
I
see.
think
waiting.
it's
I'm all
happening.
for it, man. Bring it.
Yes, sir, man. But we gonna wrap this thing up. It's been another one. We almost to the NBA finish line. The
Almost.
NBA finals. The Pacers leading 2-1. Who's gonna be the finals MVP? That's gonna be the next couple of conversations coming up here. Is it gonna be SGA because OKC gonna come back? Or will Tyrese Haliburton shut up all the haters all the haters, because I say it twice because there's so many of them,
Mhm.
by winning a championship for the Indiana Pacers and taking home a finals MVP trophy. Just winning a championship is big enough. But we will find out in the next about 2 more weeks or so, maybe, or sooner. But
Sooner.
this is the closers, and we are out.
Peace.